Sorry if my if my voice sounds weird. I'm sick. My daughter started preschool. She immediately got sick, and now everyone's sick. And so it's a little bit rough making videos now with my nose. Hello. Hi, everybody. I am Evan Rogers. That's probably how I sound normally anyway. Hello everybody, this is Evan Rogers looking oddly bright because my room is dark and I have the brightness on my screen cranked up, so it looks like I'm glowing. Alright, anyway, we are back with some fancy language words. We are talking about the subject. This is not talking about, I don't know, say science or math or social studies or language arts or foreign language. We're talking about the subject of a sentence. We're talking about the subject linguistically, about a language subject. What is a subject? We probably have a vague idea of what a subject is. It's generally once again, these are just vague translations or explanations of what these words mean, because as we've seen in the previous videos of this series, these words are very difficult to put a pinpoint in and define perfectly. So, basically, they're the part of the clause or the sentence, we haven't talked about clauses yet, that is or does something. Okay? So if you think of any sentence, there's something that does something, or there is something that is something. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. I think with examples, we're going to figure it out way better. So for example sentence number 1. Let's zoom in a little bit, make it easier for you guys on your phones to see. Am I still in range? Yes, I am. Let's zoom over a little bit more here. Are we still good? All right, great. Number 1, it says, I am fat. There should be a period there. Evan, what are you doing? I am fat. All right, so something is fat, right? That's how we're trying to translate it. Is something, right? So when something is something, when X is Y, and here we have the sentence X, which is I, is, but it's the word am, fat, that's our Y. So X is Y. I am fat. Well, am fat is what I am. So the subject is I because it is what is fat. Notice how this sentence should actually be am fat, but when we have the sentence what am fat, that doesn't make any sense. What is fat? We can talk about why that is when I'm teaching English, but not when I'm teaching Japanese. This is called our be verbs are weird in English. Okay, so hopefully you see that something is fat, and the thing that is fat is I. That's the subject. We're going to call that the subject. Why is it called the subject? Shut up. That's just the word that was chosen over the ages. All right. Oh, man, he hates his job. I think I was watching Office Space when I was making these, so he hates his job was a good sentence. Okay, so something hates his job, right? And that thing that hates the job is he, and that's the subject. What hates his job? Well, he does. He is the subject. The subject of the sentence is he. Okay, hopefully we can see how that works. Hopefully we can see. What can see? We can see. That's the subject. He hates his job. I am fat. In English and in Japanese, usually, our subjects come first. In English, it's almost required, and in Japanese, it's very common. So in English, subjects almost definitely have to come first. And then in Japanese, it's a little bit less, it's not as rigid, but it's very common for subjects to come first in Japanese. Okay, so let's go. Next, 3. She was confused. All right, so something was confused, right? And what was confused? She was confused. Who was confused? She was. Thus, she is the subject. All right, so these are pretty simple sentences. And the subject's very easy to see, so I made one that's a little bit tougher. The big fat man taught Japanese. Ho ho ho. Obadu boba solo. I'm Jabba the Evan sensei. All right, so excuse me. The big fat man taught Japanese. All right, so something taught Japanese. What taught Japanese? The big fat man. Okay. So notice how our subject is more than one word. We would call it, when it's a bunch of words together, it's a phrase. or it's a noun with a relative clause. This one doesn't have a clause, but this one is a phrase. But let's not worry about that right now. We'll talk about that later. When we have more than one word being a subject, we're going to call that the complete subject, because all of that is the subject. You know, the question, what taught Japanese? The answer is the big fat man. But let's think about this. Which one of those words is the most important? It would be the word man. Actually, after all, the thing that actually taught Japanese isn't it isn't big, it isn't fat. That'd be odd if a giant blob of fat taught Japanese. It is a man who taught Japanese. Hopefully we can see how that works. Out of all of that word, the word man is what taught Japanese. I'm going to use this example again in the phrase section, but I want to talk about the country I live in, America. America, America. Let's talk about the actual name of America, the United States of America. Okay? The United States of America. Which one of those words is the most important? Whenever I ask Japanese people, they instantly say, America. And then I say, no, because that's just telling us where the thing is. After all, it's something of America. That's just of America. Who cares? Of America? That's dumb. And then they're like, I don't know, united? I'm like, well, that's cool. I'm glad they're united, but that's just an adjective. The actual thing that America is states. We are the states that are in America, that are of America, and these states are united. We are notice, this is interesting. Notice that America is actually a plural word. The United States of America. So when you say that USA, be sure to use plural verbs with it. The United States eat pizza. The United States are interesting. A lot of people are confused and they'll just use is. But remember, it's United States of America. The important word is actually state, and it's plural. So anyway, be careful when you see these big chunks of words that you recognize which one is the actual important word. So once again, the big fat man would be called the complete subject, whereas the man by itself, just man, is the actual subject. That's the actual subject. That's the subject. Okay? So who taught Japanese? The big fat man did. Depending on your view, man or the big fat man is the subject. All right, well, hey, that's the subject. That's the subject. That's the basic explanation of what a subject is. These videos are short. I hope you had a good day. Peace out. Boo. And let's sing Vampirina.
We can sing Booty Vampirina.
You want to sing Booty Vampirina? What's that song? We're living the scream.
Whoa, Vampirina, I come and come zoo. Vampirina.
Maybe blue with pointy teeth.
Me blue is